Everybody, November 2023. This is Gimbalabs Playground. We've been getting together for the last 2.5 years, every Tuesday to talk about ideas and how to bring them to reality. The way it works is sometimes people show up with a project that's already in progress, and this gives you a chance to share out what you're working on, current challenges, but maybe even practice a pitch and get some feedback on how you talk about your project. Other times people come with a half-baked idea, just the smallest little seed of something they might try to build someday. And we use this space to make sense of that together and see how we're going to build it. I'm really excited to have some old friends from Kanmadao with us, Vinay and the crew. Hey guys, welcome to Playground.
Thank you, James. Happy to be here.
You've got the first kind of presentation for us today. I know that Estate Ledger is a project in progress that you've been building, and I'm really excited to hear from you guys about it today. Thanks for signing up.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Before we jump into the presentation, there's a link to this Miro board in the live chat. And this is an open board that's also accessible at gimbalabs.com/playground. Anybody can jump into this board. You can review some information about Gimbalabs. You can look at the history of Playground as told by some other Miro boards. And you can schedule a session. Any line that's empty is free for people to sign up. Just drop your name or your organization's name, what you want to present about, and a way to get in touch with you. And that's really the whole process. If you do step one, you're officially scheduled. So we hope you show up on that date. There won't be any reminders. We're counting on you to kind of be that community who knows where to be and when. Our typical agenda is like this. We just welcome and share some community announcements for the first 15 minutes. And then the next hour and 15 is dedicated to the presenter, however they want to use that time. And as I mentioned before, you could give a pitch, you could share an idea and ask for feedback, just start a conversation, or like usual, any combination of all of the above. So that's what we've got. The agenda is growing out. You might have seen we blocked a couple of these for Mesh and for Andamio showcases over the next few months. Coming out of Project Catalyst, we want to be able to share our progress on that ongoing work, and especially do this piece over here of starting the next level of conversations. Because as everybody here knows, the moment you build one thing, it ignites the next round of conversations about what to do next. And so we're looking forward to doing that as Mesh and Andamio continue to develop. But there's lots of empty spaces for people still to fill in, including next week. If anybody's got something you want to talk about, feel free to sign up. Finally, there's a space for notes down here. And you can see we just started season 3 a couple weeks ago. And there's notes from September the 12th and the 19th. And so Kanma team and anybody else, if there's anything you want to share publicly here, you can use this section of the Miro board. And I'll share a direct link to this, and so you can jump in and find it. Oh, and Nori, yeah, I just saw your question in the chat. The Mesh sponsored sessions, that's an experiment we're going to do because we're going to help Mesh deliver on their education platform that they had a Catalyst proposal to deliver upon. And what we were wondering is, as part of that Catalyst proposal, the Mesh team wants to host some community sessions. And we want to experiment with whether or not it feels okay to use some Playground sessions to do that, and even to experiment with Playground as a chance to do kind of a live Catalyst update that goes a little bit deeper than just the 5-minute summary, but really gives people a chance to have some Q&A, and even gives the community a chance to help define the next steps for how one of those projects is going. Always experiment and trying new things, and using the spaces that we have to try to have as much impact as possible. Any high-level questions about Playground before we jump into today's presentation? All right, I'm pumped. Let's do this. Vinay, do you want to share screen for anything?
Yes.
Awesome.
Can you guys see my screen?
Looks great. Awesome. Take it away.
Perfect. So I'm Vinay. I'm founder and head of research and development at Conma. And after 1 year of struggle, after 2 cohorts of Haskell talent pool development, we've trained 100 students and we have 7 students with us right now. So this is our first ever product from Conma. So it's Estate Ledger, basically a real estate, real fight dApp that we are building. So about us, Conma, about Conma community. So we started off with Fund 7. We are a Fund 7 funded proposal. So we were 3 co-founders, started with 3, and now we have a team of 21 contributors. So it's more a community-based organization that we are building here. So after 1 year of more on the lines of community, now we also can say that we have a tech team that is working since last 2 months. So it took us a year to like train them, and now there are like a lot of puzzles that are still to be like brought together, but probably like James, you said, it needs to start somewhere. So we are planting a seed here. So Conma DAO, we have 18 different, I would say like different wings that work in tandem to run this entire community. So we've tried and tested all these separately, but never together. So our aim is to like make this work together. So we are, so Conma Labs is actively been working right now, where we have expertise in IoT, AI, ML, and blockchain. So the founding team, so it's me, Vinay, then we have Sangeet, who is head of tech at Conma, and then we have Advita, who heads marketing. And Shantanu Chatterjee, so he's the one who's taken this initiative to like train 100 students last 2 cohorts for over a year. And finally, we have a team of 7 developers. So we have Rahat, Faizan, and Akash on the Estate Ledger team. And then we have like 3 more devs on a different project as well. So what is the problem that we are trying to like solve with this particular solution? So I just want to give you a background on why did we get to Estate Ledger. So we are based out of Chennai, South. We are south of India. So we were given a space here by a crypto enthusiast. He's in US, meaning the landowner, the asset owner is in US. He's given his land, whereby we promised him we would develop that particular place into a commercial space. And all the revenue that we generate out of it, a 5% out of that revenue generated goes to him, to his wallet. So that was the problem statement that we started Estate Ledger with. Where what is that we are solving right now? One, procuring the land. So the entire procedure, land procurement to like listing it on the marketplace, to everything that comes after procuring land, to the like the development, to distributing the profits. So all that, it's a big process. One, lack transparency. 2, credibility. 1, I would say like entry barrier into real estate. It's high capital or capital intensive affair, right? So what we are trying to do is tokenizing assets on Cardano blockchain. So basically democratizing real estate investments, flexible asset tokenization, transparency and efficiency, access to real estate for all, supporting land development, profit distribution, and anything that comes after that. So what are we trying to do with estate ledger? A real world land asset or a real world, a real five application or a dApp that we are building. Where now we've seen what the problems are with the traditional real estate, lack of liquidity to a lot of problems that we are trying to like solve with this particular dApp. So how does the product work? The step one is to like register the landowners to community, multiple community advisors, investors and stakeholders, developers and organizations. The second step would be verification of account holders according to their roles and responsibilities. So we have like various different dashboards for each of these stakeholders. Then the landowners get to like register their land and authenticate the documents. Once the authentication is done, we get to tokenize these assets into either list them as single NFTs or fractionalize them. And now these NFTs get sold in the market on our marketplace to raise funds. And now these funds get allotted to the projects, meaning now for the particular asset that we are dealing with here, a land that is of 4,000 square feet land that we got, a building, where now we want to give multiple projects a space for them to run their commerce, and all the commercial activity that happens in that particular place, out of all the sales that happen, a particular percentage goes to the landowner. Now for this entire development to take place, we would be fractionalizing the land into multiple fractions, whereby selling these fractions, raising the funds that will help us to get the commerce up and running. So basically the development happens in this particular community center. So we call it the Kanma experience, the first community center that we are building here in Chennai. So whereby now people who have invested by like buying these NFTs, they are investors who would take part in the entire development. It's going to be a DAO where they can participate in the decision-making process, and whereby the profits made will be distributed to the community. So that is like the base idea on which we started off with Estate Ledger. So where are we? I would say the business logic is all done and dusted in Haskell, but we are struggling with the Plutus application backend. But for now, we've implemented it on Mesh.js, and now we are trying to get our hands dirty on Plutus and Atlas. So we want to take a complete Haskell approach. So what are we trying to do? We are building a suite of 13 smart contracts, 8 base contracts, and 5 derivative contracts thereafter. As in, like, we want to do it in a phase-wise process. The first phase, we want to do 8 base contracts, and then in the second phase, we would do 5 derivative contracts. So these are the 8 base contracts, land acquisition contracts. So you acquire land, then you tokenize that land, then you sell those fractionalized NFTs. Then you have like a escrow account that has the amount that is there by selling these different fractions. And then you go for land development. And from the land development starts the commercial activities in that particular place. Then we get to like distribute profit distribution. And then we have a governance contract and an upgrade contract. And apart from that, in the second phase, we would want to bring in the derivative contracts. That is more of a very long shot for us. But for us, it is about like bringing these 8 puzzles together first. Is Akash here? Okay. I don't think Akash is here, but till he joins, he had like an emergency, so he had to like step out. Till he joins, I'll be able to like show you some designs that we've done for the Estate Ledger's marketplace. So this is a Figma design that we've done for the buy and sell of properties. So this is a mobile view, and then we have a so you get to connect your wallet. Owners get to do their registrations to listing their properties. All that happens here. So the designs are there, but now once the PAB is done, we'll be able to like do the next part. So this is a document that we will be sharing, which gives a detailed information about what estate ledger is, the introduction to it, what are the problem statements to everything. It's all there on a single document. So what are we doing? Tokenizing. So what are the different features that we can expect out of estate ledger? One, tokenizing the assets. Two, build a marketplace where you can buy and sell assets. Crowdfunding, basically raising funds for development. Then rental management can happen on chain. Then we have like the governance, profit distribution, analytics, asset management, compliances, and interoperability. So all these like are an extension of it, but we are at tokenization right now. So just that one first part is where we are at.
And Akash is here now too.
Yeah.
Hey, hope everything's okay.
Hello.
Yeah, Akash.
Hey, welcome.
Hello, sir. Sorry for the delay. I was
No problem.
at my home.
So James, if you can like give him the axis, present axis, he'll be able to like do the business logic of it, what they've implemented in Haskell and what they've implemented in Mesh.js.
Awesome. Yeah, ready to go.
Okay, you can present.
The designs look really good too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice job.
No, Akash, we don't hear you.
Right now?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, Akash.
Hello.
Can hear you.
Yeah, cool.
The volume is a little bit low on your end. If there's a way to turn it up.
Cool.
Yeah, go on.
Yep. So basically, we have our estate ledger marketplace that we are designed for the this current project called estate ledger, where we are tokenizing our land. And Vanessa already give you the introduction and the brief analysis of our project. So Yeah. So we design our Minter module purely on Mesh.js, Next.js, and for the authentication, we are designing backend in the purely in Node.js. Cool. So as usual, we are minting a token for the any real world, we can say asset into the digital asset. So we are doing the same. We are tokenizing the land, and we are creating the particular token on the testnet right now. And after that, we will show in the marketplace. So actually, already James sir know a little bit about this project. We talked a lot about this project and the test cases in the live projects also, right? So basically, uh, now we have the three scenario from which first there are three personas in the version one of our estate ledger: land owner, the escrow holder or the community escrow account, and third one will be the investor. Okay. So this model is purely based on the mesh.js, and this model is for landowner who will create the NFT, and who will create the NFT of his land based on the after the verification process or the authentication process that community or the escrow wallet will done. After that, he will be able to create a token or the mint the token for their real life asset or the land. So first he will add the name like and he will add the price. Say, let me connect the wallet first and show you the some of our NFTs that is already minted. Yeah. So here some of the NFTs that I already minted for the practice. So from here, right? So suppose my land price or my expected price for this land or the piece of land is 18,000 ADA, which is practically not possible. So I will add the coordinate here. We are working on the Google Maps, so we are trying to optimizing our solution. That's why we are just doing the testing phase. After that, we will add this description of the token. It should be less than 60 character, of course. This is this token minted. Oh, sorry, minted. Oh. And after that, now here is a catch. We have two sections. Whether we will create the NFT as a whole token or the whole NFT, or we will fractionalize this NFT, right? So for now, I will let me fill this area section first. Suppose I have my land with 50,000 square feet, area of 50,000 square feet, right? After that, I will add the what's my name, say East Carthage, Pune. Now, if I'm fractionalizing this NFT and I'm expecting 18,000 ADA for this whole land, and I have 50,000 square feet area that I want to tokenize, and I will create 5 NFTs, right? So it will divide each NFT into 10,000 square feet, and this amount will also, oops, yes, and this amount will also fractionalize within the 6 NFT, 5 NFT, sorry. After that, we will choose the picture. Okay, this one. We have to wait for a second. taking time. Let me code once. Utils, yes, util, then the module. Oh, it's still initializing the I think extensions, but I'm using the package directly. Give me a moment. Final IP item.js. Let me check it out using. I think I console the Pinata response. I think Pinata block does solve. Faizan, can you create Pinata API key and the secret key, please?
Just a minute.
Yeah, and just give me the credential right now. So till that, I will explain the fractionalization part. So it will create the 5 NFTs with 10,000 square feet each. Means the 10,000 by 10,000 square feet area, and it will also distribute this total amount into the 5 NFTs. Like I have the demo NFTs. So first of all, this is a single NFT. How I got to know about the this one, because of course is the indexing is 0 right now. Okay, and it's also 0. So this is a single NFT, and in this section I have the multiple fractionalized NFTs, like it's a ESL estate ledger, real 5 conma 0 and conma 1, conma 2 and conma 3, conma 4, and if you want to more, and so on. So basically this is a whole piece of land where landowner or the in the second version the escrow holder or any the persona will decide whether we have to fractionalize this part or not. So it will basically it will distribute the NFT into the smaller piece, right? So it is if you are listening, it look very simple, but when you are doing the reverse flow of the NFT, it will be very means the difficult thing, because of course if you want to get this NFT back and somehow the landowner want to back his land and also his ownership, so we have to again collect this NFT anyhow into the escrow wallet and the reverse flow for. So for that flow, it will be pretty complicated. So what we do, we keep the NFT name as the indexer level and the ESL initiator. So we will, of course, we will differentiate all these NFT using the policy ID, and for an front end developer or the user, we can say that, or the dashboard from the community side, we rename this NFT as a ESL as a start of the NFT name and end with this indexing. So this is a singular NFT, right? So we also thinking to do the approach in which we will create this single NFT and we will increase the what we can say the number or the count of this NFT. But what happens whenever you are when you are suppose here here is a 10 NFT, right? So from that NFT I want to mint the 5 NFTs. I will buy this NFT, I will mint this NFT, and from that I will take the 5 tokens. But what if in after the 5 or 6 months, landowners want his NFT back, or its land and its ownership back? So we have to again trace this NFT, and we have to do the complex stuffs and all this stuff. So what we do, we just take the NFT as a individual NFT, and we will just fractionalize however, and its respective price also. So yeah, that's it, and you can just buy this NFT. Now till here you are under the landowner's authentication, or we can say access, where you can create the NFT. After that, now I am the investor and I want to purchase this NFT, right? So what will I do? I will just simply buy this NFT by paying them the 10,000 ADA, of course. And I'm sorry, so I already have 44,000 ADA. So I will just yes. So I just paid the 10,000 ADA to the escrow wallet. But what happened? I already put the message on the Mesh.js team that I can interact with the wallet which I connected to the only whenever I connected this wallet with the application, right? So now I am working within a single wallet. So he is again asking me to sign this transaction. Why? Because I want to transfer now this NFT from escrow wallet to this wallet, to this user wallet, right? So it is again asking me to transfer this NFT, and of course I will pay. I have to pay for this transaction. So and we stuck here absolutely, because if I am connecting my wallet and somehow escrow, the transaction between the escrow and investor should be automated. So we have to jump in the smart contract, and we are now currently working on it. So basically, once the transaction will happen, or it will generate a transaction hash, we can get find its UTXOs, and we will do the process, and we do the double check for the transaction that is being happen. And after that we will transfer this NFT from escrow wallet to the investor wallet, right? So for an instance, I cannot transfer this NFT because here I am the investor and I am the escrow wallet right now. Because if you notice, whenever I am creating the instance for the wallet, I am passing that instance within the whole application. I am not creating a separate. Just give me a moment. Sorry. Yeah. Home listing. So basically, Mesh is providing one component where you can connect your wallet, and it will give you the wallet instance. So I am passing wallet instance throughout the application, right? So yes, so it will connect the wallet and it will create the wallet instance. So for right now, I cannot simultaneously work as a escrow wallet and the user's wallet, right? So and of course, if you want to send it, if suppose you are verified the user that he will pay, he already paid the 10,000 ADA for this NFT, and now I want to send this NFT from escrow wallet to that particular user wallet. So of course you need to transfer this code into the smart contract, and you have to check and verify the transaction, of course. So we already stuck here. So I asked to James sir that how somehow if we will get this wallet instance from the user from anywhere from the backend side or the smart contract side, and we will somehow get this wallet instance, we can create another wallet transaction, or the separate component where we can interact with the escrow wallet also without connecting the wallet to the application, right? So yeah, that's it. And if somehow we can successfully do the transaction, the NFT will automatically transfer from escrow wallet to investor wallet. Ha, yes. So basically, once the smart contract will done, already we are learning in the live session that how we can create a simple smart contract where you can just do the single check rather than the multiple check, and we will simply transfer this NFT from escrow wallet to user wallet, and then the minter process will be finished. Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful. Okay, so first of all, I'm so glad we recorded that because that was one of my favorite descriptions I've ever heard for why smart contracts need to exist. And so we started talking about that at live coding, but that's beautiful. It's so good, right? How can I spend from this wallet without having the wallet keys? You can't, but smart contracts can, right? And so it's so good. We jumped into this conversation at live coding, but without going too much deeper into the tech, can we pause here? Anybody who's looking at this right now, do you have any questions about Vinay's introduction and then what we just saw in the demo?
So we still don't have expertise when it comes to the PAB. So that is the problem. But if you can, I think Phison can present the business logic, meaning each of these contracts, the logic is there, but now placing this logic in a smart contract is where we are currently.
It's so perfect. I mean, it's one thing to learn Plutus, right? But you guys actually know what you need it to do. And so that's the context. And so it looks like Mix just had to jump off, but he's been leading a few deeper Plutus lectures. And that was so satisfying last week to be able to use this as an example to go a little deeper. So we'll certainly keep that going.
Yeah, and of course we are searching, and what we can say, we are trying to use each and every component and functions provided by mesh in our application. We are using in daily time, and we can try to find how we can use without writing the smart contract, right? Because if they are working on it, definitely they are providing the best solutions for the front end development rather than jump into the smart contract. So we tried each and every component provided by mesh team, and it's just fabulous.
Awesome. That's really exciting to hear. And keep track. Like, it's likely that you might discover something that mesh doesn't do yet. On our development team, we have a functionality that it just doesn't do. So Mix jumped into the code base for mesh. He said, yeah, there's the function right there. We need another one that allows for a little bit more flexibility in this way. But the mesh team is also looking for that kind of contribution. So a project like yours can help to drive mesh along and kind of help define what needs to happen next there.
Yeah. So it's in fact, we had like a meeting with Z and Jingles last week. So
good.
Yeah, we are taking those baby steps to like go next. We've implemented everything in Haskell, but now just the PAB is like pending. Once that is done, I think we are good to go. Probably we can show you the business as in like the Haskell logic on a CLI where we'll be able to like show a flow of things or flow of contracts in a sequence.
Yeah. And it's purely Haskell based, right?
Yeah. Faizan, do you want to share? Are you ready with it? You have it?
Yes.
Okay. Akash, can you stop sharing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So through this CLI, you can just demonstrate the working of the estate ledger. So first, the first contract comes up. So in this, we have to register the land. The landowner will be registering the land details according to it. So enter the land location. Suppose the land is in the Pune. Suppose yeah. And the size of the land. So for example, I am giving the 1,000 square feet and the price of it. The price of it was 2,000 ADA we are giving, and the owner of the land. So after putting the land details, we will get the output of this. The acquiring land at the location is India, the size of it, the price of it, and the who is the owner of it. Then the escrow wallet jumps in. The escrow wallet address. So for now, we will put escrow account as the address of the escrow, and the landowner wallet. So we'll keep land account for simplicity. Yeah. And the next contract jumps in, that is the tokenization contract. So we are having the two options, that is fractionalizing the NFT or keeping it as a single NFT, the whole single NFT. So for now we will go with the single NFT. Yeah. Then the buyers jumps in. The buyer's name is Akash, and the buyer's receiving address Akash account. So yeah. Then the NFT will be transferring from escrow account to the Akash account, and the sale is the confirm of the single NFT, because we have selected the single NFT, not the fractionalization. That's why the single NFT will be transferring from escrow to the Akash account. Then the next smart contract will be coming in the picture. That is, so we have to enter the project plan. So suppose the project is of farming. Then what is the budget of it in ADAs? Suppose we keep 10,000 ADA, and the timeline. What is the timeline of that project? So we will give 2 months, and the developer wallet. The developer wallet jumps in for the completion of the project. Developer account, and what are how many milestones are there for the completion of the project. So for now we'll give the 2 milestones. The milestone one name we'll give a mile one, and the ID, specific ID for that milestone. So for now we'll give the one confirmation. No, here is the escrow account comes in. So the should the fund should be released for the milestone one or not. So we'll give yes, and the milestone two name, milestone two, and specific ID is two. Confirmation, should the fund should be released for the milestone two? Yeah. And the escrow will do a confirmation check. Is the stage is confirmed, means the milestone are completed or not 100%. Then we go with the one, yeah. Then after, yeah, the milestone confirm and fund is released. Milestone one, phase one, this is the ID and the name. Then what are the activities we are performing there? So we have put the farming here, so we will give the seeding and the name of the activities. So we'll give the watering. Watering, yeah. The income, what is the income generated by that activity? 2,000 ADAs, and the again the verification confirmation. Yeah. Then the total profit, this is the profit generated from that commercial activity. The profit is 11,000, and the total number of investors, how many investors invested in that property for this development of the project. So two investors, investor name is Vinay, the wallet address is account, second one is account address, yeah. And after putting the address and the name of it, the total profit will be distributed among three, the landowner and the two investors. So the first will go into the Rahat account, the Vinay account, and the third will go into the landowner's account. Yeah.
This is the actual functionality that we wanted, where we wanted to fractionalize a 200-acre land and commercial space. So one for farming and one for commercial activity. So these are the two things that we have right now where we wanted to like bring it on.
So, I mean, this is built for a unique and I think really innovative use case. But as you guys have been building it, have you started having ideas for what else you're building with these contracts, other applications?
So our idea was to, as in like we had a requirement. Again, now since Sangeet comes from a completely different background, a EVM background. So we had a requirement for a NFT marketplace, an asset, a tokenized asset marketplace, where we've done a similar thing. We were able to like implement it in EVM, but we're not able to like implement it here. So our aim is to like whatever contracts we are making, we want to do these contracts as in like as separate modules. People can like use these modules to build their solutions, because again, requirements for Conma is different. Now they can use it for tokenization, they can use it for marketplace, rental management, probably like a land development contract. So each of these contracts can be used separately to build separate products.
Mhm. That's really neat. It it's catalyst season right now, and projects are onboarding to kind of to their milestones to get funding, and it's wild looking at that walkthrough of the everything you're reporting there, from defining the milestones to reporting on them. You guys have put the post funding or post voting and like funding and delivery process of Catalyst on chain in a way that I haven't seen yet. It's pretty incredible.
But this wasn't there on Catalyst because there were too many applications on real estate. We didn't want to like crowd that particular. But apart from that, we had knowledge ledger for our LMS. We have our own LMS. Now the product is there, but the Web3 part is missing. So we had like knowledge ledger, we had supply ledger. So each of it is for a different domain. And yeah, I think after 1 year of struggle, and now we didn't get funded. So now the next steps are a question.
Any other technical questions from anybody else, or did anybody have aha moments based on either part of the demo, seeing it in the UI or seeing kind of the walkthrough that Faizan just gave us?
Do I need to show the Minter module? One second, because I just replaced the API key.
Yes, Akash, yes, go on.
Yeah. Like the 5 NFT. I am the owner because I am giving the data to me. The 40,000 square feet. Now I'm just filling the file. It should work right now. Okay, yeah, this one. Yeah. Now I can maintain everything. Faizan, can you transfer the NFT? So basically, 3 tokens are minted with initial ESL underscore and
Mhm.
with respect with the indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically 5 NFTs are minted. So this is a fractionalized NFT, right? So you can see this 5 NFT in my account within a minute. Faizan, come on. Because I'm considering now Faizan as a escrow
Yeah,
wallet
yeah.
holder. I can show the uh, .env, where is .env. So this is Faizan's address. So I'm now considering Faizan as a escrow wallet holder, because if I am creating NFT and means transferring in my wallet, it is not showing the transaction hash within my wallet. I don't know why it is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to wait for the Faizan's response. Faizan.
Yeah, check it.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, that gives us a really nice agenda. Let's can you guys make a prioritized list of those issues so we can tackle them one by one at live coding in an organized way?
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Good.
So let me refresh my screen. Yes. So 5 fractionalized
These
NFTs are minted
are,
my account, right?
there we, are those the new ones?
Yeah, these 5 are the new ones.
Okay.
And with the distributed price and the land size, of course, it will be 3,000 for each one, and
Mhm,
you can buy from here.
mhm.
Yeah, you can buy this NFT from directly using the image functionalities. Of course, you can see the location of that land from directly from the Google API that is provided by the Google dashboard. We are trying to embed within the application only rather than creating on the new hyperlink.
Mhm.
It will create on the it will basically pop up a module and it will display the actual satellite image or the satellite uh, image of that land from here. So we are working on that one, because sometimes Google block us for the satellite image. I don't know why. We tried for the 150 times, so that's why they blocked us. Yeah, so this is a minter module overall. Cool. And if we will not fractionalize NFT, it will keep as a single NFT like this one. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Okay, so it's one thing to build software. How are we going to know that people are putting coordinates that actually belong to them on these NFTs? I mean, can't I just mint a token that says, hey, go take this building?
So the initial verification of the owner and the document is there, right?
Yes, of course.
How does that process work?
So that is again a Web 2 and a Web 3, as in like it's more like a Web 2, the general real world validation to like again bringing it to Web3. So the land document verification to everything happens initially, and then we'll be able to like take it. And we in fact have a 2-year agreement or a 3-year agreement, renewal agreement with them, because we need to give a expiry date and again initiate the smart contract again.
Very cool.
Yes, of course. And the coordinates and all the details that will provide here, it will be authenticated, of course. Because unless and until you will not give the means the permission to create an NFT, how they will create, and we will, of course, the escrow or community will always monitor the minted NFTs, of course. Yeah.
So yes, that's from our end. Or on the estate ledger front, but we have as in like few other products where the logic is already set, but again the pieces are just lying everywhere. So we need to like bring it together.
That sounds like a good description of building an innovation network. There's just pieces strewn about everywhere. We got to figure out how they all fit together.
And I think to like follow up or properly align towards building or getting to the bigger picture. So we have like a page where, so every project under Conma has its own. So this is our project page. These are all the projects getting funded or not getting funded in Cardano. We are anyways like going to work on all these projects because these are all the partners that we brought to Catalyst this time. So every project has its own page, and each page has its own tracking. So we have the D workspace set for estate ledger, where bounty based is what we want to do, or we've been doing so far. And this is a document. So this is again open to all. So this is how each of our project pages look. So this is a project tracker dashboard. I'll be pasting links to these dashboards. So each of the project, we have the project PRD and the project tracker just below the description. So what are the milestones to what are the epics to like tasks? Everything is like listed. Now people can like just come in and start moving these smart contracts, as in like each of these tasks. So this is done for all the projects, and we want to like keep this particular thing open for the community to like involve with any project that we are working.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our soul paper. So we don't call it the white paper because it's again ever evolving, and we've mentioned or we've described Conma in a sentence, a paragraph, a picture, a chapter, and we have all the collection of the technical papers. Then the different wings of Conma are innovation and commerce, education and work, outreach, architecture and autonomy, governance, community. And each of these different wings of Conma, how did the genesis happen? And what is the iteration that we are in? So the genesis happened in October 2021 for Conma Hope, which is an incubation or an accelerator by Conma. And what is the kind of proof of work or proof of community that is there? And we are running our third iteration right. So this is again entirely managed by the governance team of Conma. So we will be pasting the link to our soul paper and link to our projects.
It looks really good. The planning work you guys have done is really impressive.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, we are there.
Here we are. What else? Any questions from the rest of the crew? We've got a kind of a small turnout today, but I know some big thinkers on this call. What's on your mind?
Hey James, this is Sangeet here. I just wanted to get back to that question you mentioned in the chat. So the initial idea that we had prior to all of this was to kind of build these boilerplates of modules that we can now open source and use it anywhere. It's just that we currently base the real world example with real estate and so on. But if you look at it fundamentally, it's just a way to tokenize anything, break that one thing into multiple pieces, and ultimately sell that within the market.
Yeah.
Shantanu and your help from Gimbalabs and Mesh.js. So the idea comes to us at a point where we get, and at the same time provide them to everyone else. So this becomes an easier job within the whole Cardano ecosystem as well. So yeah, this can definitely be used to refine Catalyst. We've also been speaking to folks at Snapbrillia, and we've been taking quite a keen interest in their quadratic voting as well. So hopefully in the near future, if opportunity allows us, this is something we'll definitely look into.
Excellent. It's really good to hear you thinking like that. Nori.
Just on that topic, I wanted to jump in really quick. In one of the threads, I think it was a Swarm thread, Danny mentioned that the Catalyst team themselves don't have any immediate plans for quadratic voting for Catalyst, but they would love to maybe see some of the community step up and contribute code and put that on testnet and stuff. So I thought that's an opening. So it's like Snapbrillia, Kanma, I know Kenrick and Fotrek, and there's a bunch of people interested in that concept and idea, and maybe it's worthwhile convening kind of a community group to say what's possible, what are we already building that we could contribute, and maybe change the way Catalyst voting happens, or at least test it and see how it works out. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that Danny seemed open to the idea, so I think there's an opening there, and would love to see people step into that, get their foot in the door a little bit, and widen it open.
I mean, we've been also part of the whole Catalyst cycle ever since Fund 7, so we've been pretty much at the forefront of the problems that you are mentioning. We do have a more profound solution, but Cardano at its current technical capacity doesn't allow us to make use of dynamic soul-bound NFTs yet. So most of these ideas are also dependent on Cardano's infrastructure. So it's kind of like a vicious cycle that you're trying to break. If it comes out on Catalyst, then it benefits Cardano and then it benefits Catalyst. But then somewhere within this whole cycle, we have this issue of whales and an ulterior motive that's not really benefiting the community as a whole. So yeah, more than happy to be convened on this and see how we can take this forward.
Who said Catalyst?
Who said it?
I just said who said Catalyst. That was my activation word now.
Everywhere. Sangeet, I would love to follow up with you to see where the specific technical needs are for getting to that point of delivering on something like a soul-bound token.
Of course.
Yeah, I think we're partway there, and this is something that we're looking at with the Plutus PBL program. Faizan, Akash, Rahat, they have contributor tokens, and they're on testnet right now. But at any time, that record of the projects that everybody is working through in that course already can be used to create a token on mainnet that gives devs access to any pools of funds, right? Or any decision-making power. And
Of
so
course.
that's one of our ongoing questions. So like Akash, if you earned a token that allowed you to make further contributions, one of the arguments people have is, well, how do we know that you hold that token? And how do we know you're not going to sell it? But that's one of the big unknowns right here. If the only way to get that token was by making all those contributions to the course, and the reward for having that token is that you could keep contributing and building a further and further reputation. If somebody offered
Exactly.
to buy that token from you, would you sell it to them?
I mean, so the general idea for us over there is we don't want it to be sold. Like the essence of a soulbound token is to, I mean, technically coming from an EVM background, it's to override the transfer function. You're not allowed to transfer this. So once we do some kind of minimalistic KYC stating that, okay, Akash is in fact Akash, then with the help of an Oracle or with the help of a layer zero, we can start tracking his GitHub commits, which are publicly out there. And now this kind of acts up into his reputation. And based on the level that this dynamic soulbounds metadata holds, he kind of gets open to, higher level of Haskell and Cardano development. So we have a proof of concept of the Conma proof of reputation protocol on Ethereum, Polygon rather right now, because it's much easier. You have your ERC721s, you have the override function, you have the change in metadata function. And we kind of use this for most of our EVM clients. I've been really, really meaning to somehow bring this into Cardano's ecosystem. Like I've reached out to the NFT Alliance, and I've heard that there are 2, 3 companies working on soulbound tokens within the last quarter and this quarter. So I'm really hoping that they broke some kind of a record and kind of made it obvious. So if I get these kind of infra level structures, I have a whole suite of products that's ultimately going to benefit us in multiple avenues. So that would be my ultimate goal. I'm glad we're all aligned.
Darlington.
We could share our literatures that we have right now on the entire proof of reputation, and with it comes a dispute resolution protocol as well, because you need a way to solve the disputes that rise from anything.
Good.
How composable are the parts of this thing? Sangeet, or anybody, did you get my question? Like, how composable is it? Could you design or structure, or I don't know what the right word is, configure the token, but then have the minting of it be through a different mechanism? Like how interdependent are the different parts? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So what I ideally would like is, I mean, I understand Cardano brings the stateless problem within the whole thing that EVM kind of has. And the fact that we also use the EUTXO model also brings another set of challenges for this. So my idea was to only record on-chain transactions of the moment a certain change happens and the minting. You will essentially only be calling these two functions forever within the smart contract. Now the minting happens only once per wallet, and the updation of this metadata happens through an oracle where we have a generalized Web2 backend that looks for notifications such as other NFTs, and based on that we kind of update this soulbound token. So right now the verification and all of those things can happen off chain, but we just want the proof to be there on chain. So at any point anyone has a question saying that, okay, why is this wallet or this holder of this particular token ID eligible to do something that another person is not? And if you look at their metadata, you will see that this person has made X amount of commits on the Cardano ecosystem or the Haskell ecosystem compared to someone else who's only done X minus 10 or anything as such. So similarly, we'll be able to
Mhm.
track these metrics. We will be dependent on a lot of Web2 elements until we can purely decentralize this. We have IPFS for the storage side of things, but we still need a really reliable Oracle. We've heard news that Chainlink has brought in something or is about to bring in something for Oracle services in Cardano. And we did start doing our research on that as well. So these facilitations, and I mean, I would love to get in touch with the right people to make the infra level solutions better. In fact, we have a proposal we put up on Catalyst regarding an EDSL, where it makes it easier for us to write hash-based code for these said smart contracts. But yeah. Well, initially Web2 bound, but eventually Soul bound. Because I can get this thing up and running in Ethereum as soon as possible. But the thing is, we still lack the necessities. And in fact, we'd still like to figure out the Plutus application backend for estate ledger, because this then clarifies a lot of other doubts we have for our future prospects.
So in fact, our LMS that we have, we wanted to like integrate that with proof of reputation. So as people finish their levels of whatever upskilling that we are offering, they get to like finish that, do a assessment, a check, and then their soulbound like again like updates. So as they finish each of the stages, they get to like upgrade their soulbound.
Yeah, good. Good.
So, I mean, I'm not sure how many of you, I'm sure a lot of you have played Call of Duty, especially the old ones. So you have the whole Master Prestige and different types of ranking, and within those rankings, you get different emblems. So we're just trying to show that proof on chain. For anyone who has a doubt, let's say we get a project that says, hey, build a blockchain. So I'm obviously going to look for senior engineers who know the tech stack. So simply looking at the transaction base of that particular smart contract, I'll be able to figure out everything that I need. And I can get in touch with them purely wallet based. Have a smart contract that tells, say, I need a smart contract that does this, with these test reports and these tech stacks. And someone like Faizan will see that in DWork and be like, okay, I'm up for that. So we'll even break the entire bounty hunting aspect of things as well. So a mix of all of this would be something beautiful for Catalyst and would essentially solve a lot of the problems.
Yeah. Yeah, we think so too. Good. Let's keep comparing notes, because we're doing a lot of the same stuff with the Andamio platform. And it's really interesting to think about how those different protocols can then speak to each other, because ideally we get to the point of having that interoperability.
Exactly.
I wanted to ask Darlington, when you ask about composability, what would be some of the most exciting outcomes for you?
This is less exciting and more bureaucratic, I guess. We are tasked with issuing completed project NFTs, but we're supposed to make use of the NFT Maker Pro API somehow. I don't think they support soulbound tokens, but it would be cool if that could be integrated somehow, part of workflow. That because I think if you can just mint a completed project, Catalyst project NFT once and then just keep updating the same NFT, or even be able to update metadata of those completed projects, even if the separate NFTs would be really cool.
Exactly. Each of these things could be a certain milestone that they themselves choose. And then if we have a way of verifying, because I'm sure at some point there is human intervention that will come into this whole process flow. And anywhere there's humans being involved, the chances of malpractice also comes into play here.
So I think you are able to yeah, I think if the NFT Maker Pro token is the UI that they see and the wallet signing and paying the main
Exactly.
UTXO and all of that, I think you can send them a contract. That's where my head was going anyways. It's like, can we get this thing loaded up, hand it over to NFT Maker Pro token for the minting? And I don't know. Seems like a research project.
We've got the project completion part ready. Whenever that's already built to the set of contracts, we're approving that kind of thing. If you want to look at that together sometime, we can. I can't speak for the requirement of using the NFT Maker interface, but
Right.
we could just dig into that API together.
Right. Yeah, this is very, this is better than what we were thinking before. So I like to,
Because ideally for the change in metadata, they're gonna have to pass the obvious digital signatures and such, and then kind of filter it out with the token ID as well as the updated string. And they're ultimately just gonna be Boolean functions within the metadata as well. It's gonna be like a Ethereum developer true or false, Haskell developer true or false, designer true or false. The more we can specify each task or each skill, the easier it will be for us to, it depends. If you want a skill-based database and then filter that out, then you have that. Or if you just want points, or if you just want any kind of metric comes into play here. And the NFT in itself will, at least the image of anything will not really change unless you really want to. But it's the metadata that is going to hold the value.
right, and it's that metadata that's important for different queries, and making use of
So
specific
the thing is,
strategic
with the change of
labels.
metadata, with the change in metadata, if you can just give them the transaction hash of at which point this metadata changed to give you this information, then through that you'll be able to track the events that occurred for the said change in metadata.
Right. Yeah, no, that sounds good.
And the soulbound functionality is essentially just overriding the transfer function. Like before the transfer function is called, you just have to make sure that it's going to the dead wallet, and if not, it can't get transferred. I don't know.
This is great to be getting to these questions. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
Good. So let's keep looking for ways to support this work, because this is driving the next wave of innovation, right? These are the things that everybody's going to be talking about a year from now. And it's really exciting to see these early days. And interoperability is going to be such a key part of things, right? Because we need to have multiple different approaches to coming into this work. Yeah, we're at time right now, so we'll end the live stream. If anybody's watching this later, join us every Tuesday, 1800 UTC, gimbalabs.com/playground. You can find the information about this meeting. But I'll drop the live stream if anybody wants to hang on and talk just a little bit about future collabs. Nori, thanks for being here. Everybody, thanks for being here. If you got to jump, see you soon.